You'd think Chicago was hosting the Beatles with the way Caitlin Clark rolled in and took over the whole city. Fans packed the place just for the chance to glimpse her live. She turned United Center into her own concert venue, while Angel Reese-bound Reese could only watch the show from the sidelines. That "come to your trap, take over your trap" line. Cece, hope you're watching, because Clark didn't just come to Reese's home court. She rewrote the script and flicked every spotlight her way. Let's walk this back. Remember Angel Reese's flashy Reebok campaign where she struck her best "take over your trap" pose for All-Star Weekend? Congratulations, because Caitlin Clark just marched into that so-called trap, flipped on all the lights, and ruled the place while Reese nursed another suspiciously timed injury. Nowhere near the center of attention. Seriously, the irony was outrageous. Clark transformed Chicago into her personal stage, while the hometown hero straight up vanished the instant the big moment arrived. Caitlin didn't just show up, she turned the arena into a fan festival. Clark spent nearly half an hour winding through the crowd, signing hundreds of autographs, 2/3 around the venue. Chicago Sky fans were outnumbered by hungry Fever supporters, and every bit of the scene screamed Caitlin Mania. Even if you somehow missed the game, you felt that cinematic rivalry energy almost as if the script was written by someone determined to make Reese a background extra. Outside the arena, Clark set off an all-out fan frenzy, smiling for selfies, high-fiving kids, and making memories while Reese hid behind the curtain with cryptic posts, desperate to spin the story her way as her moment slipped right through her hands. This is the reality. That is how you truly walk in your trap and take over your trap. Just look, Fever jerseys everywhere. The Barbie night hype was gone in a flash. Clark hijacked the event with grace, energy, and authentic star power, and she didn't even need to log a single minute on the court. If you can see the gap between manufactured hype and genuine greatness, smash that like button and comment, "I've got the fever," because what happened next only widened the canyon between Caitlin and Angel. So Clark wasn't even medically cleared to play in the game. Fans clung to hope till the absolute last moment. Even just glimpsing Clark would have made their night. While she made herself available to everyone, signing non-stop, Reese was nowhere, despite all her all-star and indie campaigns and grand promises about taking over traps. Watching both sides, it almost felt like someone engineered the whole day to show just how irrelevant Reese's image game now looked. Clark, despite the injury, gave fans everything they dreamed of. Reese allegedly the new face of Chicago? She was a rumor, not a presence, ghosting the most charged game of the year in her own city. That's the script when someone tries to ride a superstar's coattails instead of creating their own lane. Eventually, the truth rips the mask right off, and you see exactly who's the lasting force and who's just playing dress-up. Let's hammer it in, walk in your trap, and take over your trap? Clark did exactly that in Angel City. The receipts are everywhere, and the tweet receipts? Devastating. Walk in your trap, take over your trap? The Clark effect made it a punchline. Here's what truly set the moment apart. Clark's impact is so wild she didn't even play, yet the very atmosphere bent around her. As Clark drew the crowd, her Fever teammates carved up the sky on the floor. Kelsey "Money" Mitchell came out like she had a personal vendetta, torching the place with confidence, hitting threes from way beyond the arc, and closing the night with a back-breaking 35-point clinic. Including 7 daggers from deep. Right from the jump, Mitchell caught fire after quick buckets. You just knew, uh-oh, this is her game. Coaches kept giving her screens, kept the ball flowing through. Hijacks attacked the lane, earned trips to the line, slipped through defenders like a pro, and carved up Chicago's plan with ease. This wasn't just scoring. This was a public calling out for the Sky and a declaration. The Fever aren't just Clark and friends, they're for real. Here's the twist. Indiana proved they're no one-woman show. With their superstar out, Mitchell shouldered the load like she was born for it, steady, fearless, and efficient. On fire? That's an understatement. Everything came within the offense, easy and unforced. 12 for 19 from the field, 7 of 10 from 3, plus 25 in the box score. Stirring the pot and cooking Chicago. And it wasn't just her. Aaliyah Boston bullied the Sky's front line in the paint with 14 points and 11 rebounds, schooling defenders with her footwork and strength. Every possession she touched looked like a basketball masterclass. Defensively, Boston gave nothing away, swatting shots, denying easy looks, and operating like a general under the rim. While Boston disassembled the sky inside, Arie McDonald came off the bench with 10 timely points, proving that even role players on Indiana get the memo, bold in big moments. This Fever win was more than good basketball. They dictated pace, shattered every momentum shift, and put Chicago in a permanent state of panic. Every time the Sky hinted at a comeback, Indiana hit them back with a run that sucked the life from the building. This was no fluke, no hot streak luck. It was a clinical, calculated takedown by a team that's grown up fast. Final scoreboard? 93-78, but the reality was closer to a 30-point drubbing. Indiana dominated every relevant category: shooting, rebounding, ball movement, defense, even energy. Best part? They did it all while missing their franchise player. That's what elite teams do. They improvise, elevate, and bulldoze whoever's in front of them. Meanwhile, let's not sugarcoat Chicago's side. Home court, season on the line, supposed to be bouncing back, and they folded. Overrun by Indiana's pace, outworked on nearly every possession, the Sky sank to a pitiful 31% from three, while Indiana bombed away at 50%. This wasn't about lucky shots. It was a culture gap in preparation, urgency, and willpower. Look at Indiana's bench. Michaela Timpson and Lexi Hall gave big minutes, keeping the machine humming when starters rested. This isn't just filling in, this is a bench that keeps standards sky high and brings extra bite at playoff time. The Fever forced 17 turnovers, kept Chicago's offense guessing and gasping, and cracked the code for how modern basketball wins. None of this is isolated. This was Chicago's 5th straight collapse. Injuries, bad lineups, chaotic coaching. This team looks like it's waiting for an off-season overhaul, not a playoff push. The roster is drifting, identity is lost, and their coach is out of answers. Front office, decision time, pretend or rebuild. At this rate, simply finishing above the league's bottom spots would be an achievement. Meanwhile, the Fever are building a culture, a structure, a real plan. Their foundation holds. This wasn't just any win, it was a public message. Chicago, you've been outclassed top to bottom. Dig into the numbers, and it's worse for Chicago. Out-rebounded 42-35 because Indiana simply fought harder, boxing out, hustling, securing every loose ball. Fever racked up 24 assists on 34 made buckets. Translation: discipline, movement, unselfish basketball. Chicago, 16 assists, endless stagnant possessions. Turnovers told the rest Sky were frantic and careless, while Indiana was sharp and composed. The difference: one team playing with focus and chemistry, the other scrambling for answers. Here's the clincher. Indiana's defensive communication, rotation, and help coverage looked downright professional. Chicago's defense looked lost. Fever played small for stretches and still outworked Chicago, proving heartbeats height every time. Caitlin Clark, meanwhile, became the city's unofficial mayor, signing autographs for hours, surrounded by real fans, not paid seat fillers. She gets what it means to carry a league, whether she wants the crown or not. That's star power. By comparison, how could anybody seriously argue there's even a rivalry here? This isn't a contest, Angel. The reality is on full public display. Chicago's issues run deeper than health or chemistry. They're foundational, rooted in preparation, leadership, and a missing identity. Indiana just showed the league how to plug gaps, adapt, and hunt down wins in brutal environments. The postseason blueprint is clear: depth, system, and belief. When Clark returns, every team will have to scheme for not just Herbert, a full Fever roster loaded with reps, ready to attack. That makes Indiana a nightmare matchup from top to bottom, and a model of what smart front offices build a franchise, not a fleeting story. Angel Reese, it's time to let the Clark chase go. Your followers? Impressive. Your brand? Sure, one of the W's bigger ones. But you aren't Caitlin Clark, and deep down everyone knows it. No matter how hard the online hype tries to force the comparison. It's Steph Curry versus a solid all-star. It's just a different universe. Look at how Indiana's youth benefited. They got war-tested without their all-world guard. Mitchell emerged as a genuine co-star. Boston became the two-way anchor every contender needs. The Fever's supporting cast didn't just let the ship float, they steered it, and that carries straight into late-season wars when the pressure's highest. These are what real results look like. Clark goes into enemy territory people used to think was someone else's domain and still takes over by presence alone. I guarantee more folks showed up for Clark than all of Chicago's roster combined. Reality doesn't match social media hype. Indiana's coaching adjustments were sharp speed, pace, quick decisions. They turned the game into a relay race while Chicago tried to run a marathon. That's tactical genius, and it's the foundation of a legit contender. Let's put the rivalry talk in the grave where it belongs. There never was one. Clark is a single-handed empire, capable of turning any city into her personal festival. Meanwhile, Reese's absence is noticed only in hindsight. Her injuries make her a ghost in every pivotal moment. It almost feels cruel. Clark is just that much better at every facet of the game. Clark's influence? It's generational. She shifts energy, claims cities, and bends attention without checking in at the scorer's table. Reese tries to hop on for the ride, but history only writes one name in bold. This showdown exposed every difference: authentic greatness versus chase, the spotlight branding. You can't hype your way into legacy. You have to seize it every day. Bottom line, trap taken, city conquered, rivalry erased, torch never even passed. Clark exposed Chicago and ended the debate before she even laced up. The Fever missing their franchise player proved they're not just along for the ride, but out to dominate. See the difference? Go on, comment, "I've got the Fever," and get ready because this is real greatness unfolding right in front of you.